Carmel fans, York fans, hockey fans, welcome to the third edition of this season's SHL Game of the Week live here on YouTube. The Scholastic Hockey League Network is sponsored by Uline, the presenting sponsor of the best high school hockey league in the state of Illinois. Big thank you to them for supporting the SHL. My name is Dylan Ward. I'm alongside Andrew Rubin, Luke Jordan down there at ice level, getting ready to talk to head coach of York, Matt Boeing, who with the York team that has now getting ready for their third game in 3 days. Anyways, Luke, send it away.
Alrighty, thank you, Dylan. I'm here with the head coach of the York Dukes, Matt Boeing, and like he said, third game in 3 days. Do you feel that'll be any sort of obstacle for you?
No, we practice hard all week, and we know how competitive this league is. We work hard, we train hard, we got off ice going on, so we're looking forward to the challenge and the test, and our boys are ready.
And you guys have incredible special teams up to this point. Do you look to keep that going forward?
I have no idea what you just said.
You guys have incredible special teams so far this year. Do you look to keep that going forward?
Yeah, of course. SHL, special teams are everything. We take a penalty, people are going to capitalize on that. So we're going to keep on doing what works for us, and we're going to have to make some adaptations along the way and have a good game here.
All righty, well, thank you so much, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. One more time, that is Luke Jordan joining us for his first broadcast on the SHL Network. Patrick Loftus on the camera, Jimmy Olson, our technical engineer. As I mentioned earlier, I'm alongside Andrew Rubin, and my name is Dylan Ward. And Andrew, only 30 seconds to go suddenly in warm-ups. We're about to get underway for this exciting Sunday afternoon hockey game.
Absolutely, and Dylan, as we mentioned, it seems like every single one of these SHL Game of the Weeks, there are no nights off in the SHL. From top to bottom, there is not a single team that you can come in thinking that's going to be a pushover. We've seen it with the Carmel and York already beating numerous opponents. Carmel has a win over GBN and an overtime loss to GBN, as well as we've seen York have some wins over GBN as well. Both of these teams really looking to get going in the right direction. York having split already on this weekend, being 1-1 with a loss yesterday against Stevenson, and Carmel, who's really struggled offensively to start but has not struggled being competitive as they have been in every single SHL game to this point.
Andrew, you mentioned the rough start offensively for Carmel. They've only got 4 goals in their 4 games so far this SHL season. In order, a 2-1 overtime loss to GBN, 4-1 loss to Loyola Gold. Then they started picking it a little back up with a 2-1 win over GBN, but in their most recent game, a 5-0 defeat to what a lot of people believe is the best team in the state, New Trier Green.
Yes, and I think they caught New Trier Green at a tough time, as New Trier was not happy with their performance the game before against Bennett, so I think that was more of a frustration game for New Trier. I think Carmel believes that they are a better team than that. And we talked to Carmel head coach P.J. Eberhard, and he talked about how the experience of this team, how he has multiple 3-year varsity players and even one 4-year varsity player, that he believes that they have what it takes and they know what it takes to win in this league and in the playoffs.
Now it's time for our Schmidt goaltending starting goalies here in Vernon Hills. First for the away team, the York Dukes. We'll go with Adam Kazmarek, who has played every SHL game this season but one for York. A 3-3 record with a .199 goals against average, a .930 save percentage, and a shutout to his name. Over on the other end, for the Carmel Catholic side, Thomas Steiner playing in his 4th start. Same situation as Kazmarek. He's played in all of their games except for one. But his record, 0-2-1, .338 goals against average, and a .902 save percentage. No shutouts either. Gavin Stanley, their backup goaltender tonight, has played 1 game in the SHL so far, only allowed 1 goal, and got Carmel's only win in the game against GBN.
Yes, and Carmel believes they really have a 1A, 1B type of goaltending situation. They have confidence no matter who is in net for them, which as a team, that is about as good as it gets, because you don't want to have your team trying to switch games based on a goaltending situation.
All right, opening face-off is won by the Dukes. And one underway, sit back and relax. Enjoy this one from Glacier Ice Arena in Vernon Hills. Carmel's 5th game in SHL play, York's 8th. Here's Mark Mosley, returning skater from last year's varsity team, but it gets stolen away by the Dukes. They will send it into their attacking zone. Looking to make something happen, P-Tac centers it, but Nicosia a little too out of his reach. Meanwhile, left point, it's settled down by Frank Rosa. He takes a shot, and that'll go wide. Nicosia gets it back below the goal line. All York 40 seconds into this one. As it's centered again, Nicosia may have gotten a tip on that, but it deflects high and misses the net. Eli Maurer keeps the pressure alive for the White Sweaters. Petak down low. And finally, finding it for Carmel is Swiatkowski. On a clearing attempt, it deflects out of play, and we freeze action with 16:07 to go in the first.
As you mentioned, Dylan, a very fast start for York. They're almost getting a goal about 15 seconds into this one. You can't ask for a better start, though, with the pressure that they've already established on this Carmel defensive zone. We can see lots of turnovers if York can keep this pressure on Carmel.
As the faceoff shifts to neutral ice, just wanted to remind you that Charlie Nahamik not in the lineup for the York Dukes. Their only scratch. As for the Corsairs, Aiden Gamble not in the lineup either. He is injured. And Christian Leiston, an up-and-down varsity JV player, also not playing. Here's Gornick. He had the game-winning goal in their only win this season. Now it goes to the right point. Morabito, he will shoot. And getting a piece of that one is Kazmarek. Now the other way come the Dukes. To neutral ice far side. But getting a hold of that one is Carmel. And they will try and dump it in. But it's grabbed away by the Dukes. And now Dankelson picks up a loose puck. Couldn't get over the blue line cleanly. Had a couple of York defenders on him, but Carmel keeps it alive. Nick Leaf centers it. And on the rebound, it comes out to the left circle where Gabe Morabito will take a shot that goes high. Gabe Morabito, number 17 in gold, out there on the rink. Is part of this varsity SHL roster, but playing in his first league game. Has some experience with the team in exhibitions, tournaments, and otherwise. Now here's Ligori. To the corner. Curry gets in there, and now Sanfilippo will pick it up for the Dukes. 2 minutes into this one, a shot on goal for each team, but nothing in the net so far, as we are still very early on this Sunday afternoon. Leon Swiatkowski comes into the zone. That looked to be pretty clearly offsides, Andrew. I don't know what you thought of that. But either way, the shot goes high and out of play, stopping action with 14:45 to go in period one.
I agree. I did believe that was offsides, as it looked like one of the Carmel teammates entered the zone just in front of Leon Swiatkowski, but to Carmel's fortunate, they will have a face-off in the offensive zone.
Swiatkowski with a quick shot, blocked in close off the face-off win. So here's Ryan Capulong, one of two Capulong brothers. Stolen away by York. They might have a partial breakaway. It's Ryan Booth trying to get around one defender. Now in on net. The shot is taken by Anderson, and getting a big save in net is Thomas Steiner for the Corsairs. And another stoppage, 14.5 to play.
First real test of the game for either goaltender there. Great sight for your Carmel team. Thomas Steiner up to the challenge, as hopefully he can get settled into this game.
Face off inside Carmel zone. They win it cleanly. It'll go back below the goal line. Huffman now to the near side. Stolen away. Ethan Coit has points in 3 straight games. He tried a centering pass, but nobody was in the blue paint where he sent that puck. Now below the goal line, a battle for it. Anderson gets a hold of it. He'll play it back, trying to look for a clean zone exit, but it'll go back into Carmel's territory. Now finally, it's sent all the way down here by the Gold Sweaters, and it'll be a face-off inside Carmel's zone. 13:53 to go in the first period.
Dylan, I'm going to go back to that part where the puck went right through the blue paint. That was a great stick by Michael Huffman to lift the York attacking player in front of the net. If he's not there to take away the front of that, that could very easily end up in Carmel's net.
Another face-off inside the Corsairs' end. York with possession. Campasano with a shot. Big right pad save by Steiner. Carmel still having trouble getting it out, though. Kyler Gornick with a backhand feed to Hurljack, who will play it off the far boards and out. York going to come right back in and grab possession back, sending it down to the Carmel zone, and both teams will regroup. Capulong couldn't hang on to that puck at the right point while he was waiting. So instead, it'll be grabbed by Matt Sohn. Now here's Rosa with it. Frank Rosa, varsity rookie, out to neutral ice. And taken away by Capulong. He will send it in again. A lot of attacking zone possession here early in this game, but not a lot of great scoring opportunities except for that one big save. Now 1-on-4. Sohn comes in. and Carmel has an easy time getting the puck away from him. So it's Lenahan with a pass to Gornick, now through the neutral zone. He tried to play it off the boards, but the referees skate in the way, actually the linesman. Anyway, Lenahan over the blue line, right wing side, gets rid of a wrister and easily into the glove for Adam Kazmarek, who makes his second stop of the game with 12:37 to go in the first. No score in Vernon Hills.
One thing to pay attention to right now is Carmel's breakout. Can they hit their forwards while moving with speed to get through the neutral zone to start attacking? I feel like that's where York is very, very weak, where you could possibly look to get a bunch of goals.
Mark Mosley to Lenahan. Lenahan centers it. A couple sticks get in the way, and York finds the puck. Will try and get it out, but it's kept alive by the glove of Morabito. Making a big impact in his first career varsity SHL game for the Corsairs. But York outplaying Carmel to this point, at least in my opinion. This one's dumped down. It'll go off the end boards and all the way out to neutral ice, but York continues to hang on to the puck as they look for another opportunity to enter. It's Frank Nicosia with a C on his chest for the Dukes. Got around Mosley. Now he will come over the blue line, left side, but they're flagged for offsides on that entry. And the faceoff will come out to the neutral zone at the dot on the near side, closest to Carmel's half of the ice. 11:53 to go in the first.
Dylan, that will not be the only time we see number 8 in white, Nicosia, try to rush the puck up for York. The York coaching staff cannot say enough nice things about Nicosia as a player, and he is definitely the straw that stirs the drink for this York offense.
Their leading point producer last season at the varsity level looks to continue his hot play. So far on this season, 3 goals, 6 assists for a total of 9 points in the 7 games he's played for the Dukes. This one back into York's end. Dankelson picks it out of midair, but Sanfilippo does grab possession for the Dukes, and Peifel now with it, looking for a pass. Tyler Peifel being crowded by Gold, and Deacon Rose, the returning varsity player, was a freshman last year, centers it. Deacon Rose now gets it back below the goal line. Carmel looking for a tap-in play, but can't find one. They will keep up possession, though. Sent below the goal line, Leaf centered it, and it's taken away at the left circle by York. Tyler Peifel will lead the charge out. Now it's Colantonio with it. 11 minutes to go in the first. Still waiting for our first tally here in Vernon Hills. Carmel takes it away. Deacon Rose with a dump in. It'll ring around the boards, and Costabile picks it up. Actually takes a funny hop off the boards, but luckily no Corsair there from the York perspective. Leon Swiatkowski into the zone. Long wrister with not a lot of elevation. Will go wide of the net. And back out to neutral ice one more time. 2-2 are the shots on goal. Nothing in the back of the net yet in Vernon Hills between the York Dukes and Carmel Corsairs. This long pass is intercepted by Swiatkowski. Gets it to Capulong. Left circle shot into the glove. Cool as a cucumber for Adam Kazmarek. He will hang on. 10:20 to go.
If you're Adam Kazmarek, this is the start that you want. Seeing those long, clear-sighted shots from Carmel, being able to settle in, feel that puck, track that puck as much as possible. If you're Carmel, you want to try to get as many bodies in front of Kazmarek as possible.
Face-off win, slap shot, score! Kyler Gornick with the big drive, and the Corsairs strike first. They lead 1-0 off a face-off play.
Eddie Olchek emphasizes it every game if you've listened to Blackhawks games. Face-offs are so important, and there will usually be 1 goal a game scored off of face-offs. And as we can see right there, a huge win by Carmel for a quick slap shot just to beat Kazmarek, as we see the replay right there.
That was so quick off the stick. Can't blame Kazmarek for that one. And Carmel Catholic, for just the second time this season, has struck first. The only other time they did that was their only win. That was the 2-1 victory over GBN. So they'll play with the lead here. That is also Carmel Catholic's first period goal of this SHL season, which is still very early, this being their 5th game played. York will dump this one all the way down. Would have been an icing, but went directly on net. So Carmel will try and beat York in a change. Gornick will hustle through neutral ice. Dump that one down, drop it off. Sohn takes possession away for the Dukes. 9:30 to go in period number 1. Carmel hangs on to a 1-0 lead. as it comes out to neutral ice. Now Hurljack dumping it in right to Lucas DeZillo, and now here comes York the other direction. It's Eli Maurer, right wing side around a couple defenders, all the way to the net and pulled it to his backhand, but it just went wide. Almost a major highlight reel goal there for the Dukes. Now Matt Sohn, spinorama try with his backhand, was stopped by the pad of the goaltender.
Player taken down there, could have been a penalty. We're going to see no call.
Notice that the referees are not calling a lot of penalties in general so far early in this SHL season. We'll see if that continues to be a storyline. Here's Nicosia, left circle. Capulon gets in there to fight for the puck. Varva. And it comes out to the high slot. Maurer will try a shot. That got deflected by a defender in close. 8.5 to go in the first period. Carmel leads the game 1-0, and shots on goal 4-3 at this point. By the way, as that is an icing, we would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors on the SHL Network, starting off with our presenting sponsor, Uline, Chicagoland Habitat for Humanity, CCTY Bearing, Edwards Jones Financial Solutions, Wintrust Community Bank, Lake Forest Bank, a Wintrust Community Bank, Kramer Construction, and finally, Schmidt Goaltending, who sponsored the starting goaltenders. Also want to take a moment to say a big thank you to the New Trier Hockey Club organization for stepping up and sponsoring the goal cams that we've been using so far in this game, and we also had in that first SHL game of the week, Lake Forest and Loyola. It really makes the broadcast awesome, so big thank you to NT Hockey. Nicosia couldn't grab possession initially, but he'll circle back with the puck. Go far side to Matthew Moore. Moore to his defensive partner, Frank Rosa. 7:42 to go in the first period. Nicosia near side in neutral ice. We'll get around one defender. Then look for a zone entry. He's coming in 1-on-5 now, and Carmel easily deflects that one back out to neutral.
Very good team defense there to swarm Nicosia and barely even let him enter the zone and immediately clear the puck.
So, even 1-on-5, he's the type of player to kind of get away with something in those types of situations. That's how talented he is as a skater, especially with his speed. It's a very good point, Andrew. Mosley centered it. Deacon Rose got a shot, but it wouldn't go. Now centered again. Dankelson's backhander just goes high of the crossbar.
That puck was deflected to Dankelson, which just put it on edge for him to put it over the net.
Dankelson will chase after this one for possession, but instead it'll be Rosa. Now centered again. Deacon Rose, sharp angle shot from the left wing. Missed the net. Gornick keeps it in at the point. Now a big wind-up for Gornick, and his shot wouldn't go either. Cole Antonio races the other way for the Dukes. He will arc that one ahead of Gornick, but it wouldn't connect with himself. Then Dankelson the other way, dropped it off. Leaf will get a shot away, deflected high and off the high glass behind Kazmarek's net. Now the puck loose in the blue paint area again. Finally, Carmel takes possession. Back to the left point, Gornick. Leaf gets it back to Gornick. His shot just missed the cage. Nice passing here by Carmel. York has had the possession percentage surely in this game, but every time Carmel gets into the attacking zone, they are doing a good job at finding opportunities. This is going to be an icing by York. 6 minutes to go in the first period. Shots on goal favor Carmel 5-3, and the score of the hockey game 1-0. By the way, that goal by Gornick, you can give an assist to Rocco Lagori on that one.
Dylan, I'm going to go back to the point you brought up about Carmel's play in the offensive zone. We are really seeing some excellent passing and positioning, and they really have York on their heels in their own defensive zone.
Kyler Gornick's first goal in this SHL season so far. Rocco Lagori's first career varsity SHL point. Here's Coit, who has points in 3 straight games, chasing that one down below the goal line. Grabbed away by Carmel initially, but it'll come to the near side half boards. Corsairs get it. Here's Vavra. He will get that one to the far side. Swiatkowski, tough angle shot, able to put it on net, and the save is made by Kazmarek. 5.5 to go. Here's another try from Carmel. Another save by Kazmarek, his 6th of the hockey game. Now the puck being pinned up against the far corner in York's defensive end. Carmel takes it away. Centering try was deflected away by a stick of a white sweater. It'll go all the way down and just barely have enough for icing. We freeze with 5:06 to go in the first, 1-0 for the home team.
That Carmel line that was just out there, Swiatkowski, Capulong, they have shown that they are going to get the puck to the front of the net at any and all time possible, whether it's from the boards, whether it's from the middle of the ice. They're looking to get pucks on Kaczmarek.
Another face-off win for York. They can't get it outside the zone. Hurl jack, and it's lost to the Dukes. Into the zone comes Camposano, but stripped away from him. York gets it back. It's Pitak. He lost the puck. And so Carmel will get it out to neutral ice. Here's Hurl jack with defenders on him. Then he takes a big hit at the blue line as he was dumping the puck down by Frank Nicosia, getting a body in there. 4.5 to play. Nico Pitak rushes the other way. York has numbers here. A 2-on-1 with Eli Maurer. Pitak shoots, and the save is made by Steiner. York still with it. This shot is saved. Rebound try from Maurer at the right circle was also stopped. Now Pitak, Nicosia with it. Frank Nicosia looking for an option. Passed it across. Looking for a tap in from Maurer, wouldn't go. Then another try from York. Deflected and saved by the goaltender. One more opportunity. Here's Pitak blue paint. They try to stuff it in, but getting on top of the puck is Thomas Steiner for the Corsairs, and he freezes the game with 4 even on the clock in the first period. 1-0 in favor of Carmel.
Real good job by Thomas Steiner there to bail out his teammates. Right after that hit from Nicosia at the blue line, it's almost like a complete switch in the game script. Absolute domination by York. They're getting a good 4 A+ chances on Steiner, who's able to keep York out of the Carmel goal.
Face off inside, Carmel zone, one back. Swiatkowski hits a man into the corner, and he's slow to get up. That's Tyler Peifel. Looks to be all right as he'll stay in the shift. All the meanwhile, Jack Wren to Swiatkowski. Swiatkowski centers that one, but Wren just barely not there. Leon Swiatkowski, a defenseman by position, but known for his offensive ability as a defenseman for this Carmel Corsairs team as he plays his second varsity season with the program.
Not only his physical ability, but Coach PJ Eberhard mentioned he was recently named captain by his teammates as they think that his leadership is second to none on this team and he can really take them in to a special place this year.
York with possession. Sanfilippo gets it ahead. He found Mark Sohn in on net. He tried a backhand shot, but a beautiful defensive play by guess who? Number 2, Leon Swiatkowski, who we were just talking about. Behind his own net, he'll play this one to the near side for Lenahan. Sohn gets it away. Lenahan gets it right back. 3 minutes to go as Carmel will look for their second. Here's Wren into the zone. Tried a shot. Maybe that was a pass intended for Mosley, but either way, no goal. And York will take over. Frank Oza in his own end was looking for an option. Waited a little too long. Mosley steals and shoots. Save made. Another save on the quick rebound by Kaczmarek, and he's been sharp tonight.
We're seeing a huge effort from Carmel to shoot low on Kaczmarek. In a day and age where shooting high is very popular, we're seeing lots of low shots on the pads of Kaczmarek so far this game.
Pass over to Dankelson, one-timer, was blocked, and this will be sent down for an icing. Luke, you're down over there at the York bench. They're down 1-0. They came out in this game firing on all cylinders, but lately it's been Carmel controlling the play. What's the energy like down there?
It just seems a little bit less energetic than it was before. You know, Coach Boeing is still trying to be motivational and all the above, but a little bit quieter than it was earlier for sure. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Luke. As we inch closer to the end of the first period, just 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play. One goal in the period so far belonged to Kyler Gornick, as here is another icing by the York Dukes. We haven't seen a penalty in this game, and Andrew and Luke, we were all talking before the game about how that's one of the biggest things to note. York comes into this game with the best power play in the SHL, 6 out of 17 for a 35.3% mark. So Carmel will look to stay out of the box as much as they can, and so far they're being shorthanded 3.7 times per game through their 4 games, which is 8th worst in the SHL. Best being the least amount of shorthanded situations, obviously. Favre from the right point. That shot missed the net, so chasing after it is Ryan Booth for the Dukes. Be a big momentum swing if York could find a goal before time expires and we switch sides. Ryan Booth centered it. Ethan Coit, nice move to get around Leaf. Coit and lost the puck as he was being double teamed coming back for Carmel. Now in the corner,
it's like we're going to get a
sounds.
penalty called from all the way across the rink by the trailing official.
Good eye there, Andrew. We'll wait for the signal. And I'm not seeing one yet as Rose will head to the penalty box.
It looks like it may be a hook. We'll see if we can get a replay of that. But it looked like they thought they had a takedown of Coit as he was rushing that puck in. Either way, it's going to be the first power play chance for York here with 1:32 to go in the first period.
So the official penalty call still loading in on game sheet. Deacon Rose in the box. He's only had 2 penalty minutes so far coming into this one with 4 games played. Couple guys stand out at the Carmel roster. Kyler Gornick with 26 penalty minutes in 4 games. Mark Mosley with 12. So here is the York power play that we were just talking about. Firing on all cylinders, putting one in about a third of the time. They'll have to circle back to their own end. 1 minute, 18 seconds to go in the first period, so this power play will bleed into the second period if necessary. Nicosia through neutral ice. Got around Swiatkowski. Now Nicosia brings it to the far side corner, right wing side. Hit from Gornick, doesn't phase Nicosia as he keeps possession of the puck. Now here's Pitek. Under a minute to play in the first period. And it's intercepted by the Corsairs. Gornick will dump this one down, chase after it, looking for a shorthanded opportunity. And on that rush, another penalty is going to be called.
Looks like this one's going to be coming against York. The initial signal looked like roughing. Could have been interference as well. Also maybe a little embellishment there from Gornick. But that's going to end this York power play chances. It's going to be 4-on-4 for the remainder of the period.
So their power play falls to nothing for 1 in this game so far. And then as you mentioned, Andrew, 4-on-4 hockey until the Carmel penalty over. Then it'll be a power play for York just as short as the Carmel one. A little bit more open ice here. Swiatkowski out there for PJ Eberhardt, but York steals it away. They're looking to rush up ice. It's Cole Antonio pressuring. Carmel does get it back, and all York can do is dump it in now with 30. Cole Antonio. Far side, intercepted by Carmel again. Swiatkowski leading the charge out. Shorthanded look, 4-on-4 look. Here's Lenahan with the puck. He had it stripped away from him by Aaron Curry, and the Dukes will get it back out to center, where the Corsairs will dump it in. Lenahan at the left point with only 4 on the clock. His shot deflects high and out of play. It'll go into the netting, and we'll have one more face-off in the attacking zone for Carmel with 2 seconds on the clock.
Something to take note of, that's not the first time that we've seen Kaczmarek go out to play the puck and end up turning it over, giving it to the Corsairs, missing his defenseman in his own zone. That is a way to give up a real cheap goal if you're York.
Face-off win by the Dukes, and that's how the first period comes to an end as they play keep away. 1-0 game in favor of the Corsairs after 1. They also lead shots on goal 10-6 after the first period, as the teams will meet at their benches for a brief timeout, and then we will get set for the second period, switch sides, and continue playing 4-on-4. Luke, I'm going to let you listen into that conversation a little bit, and then you could tell us about it, so I'll go to Andrew instead. What did you make of that first period for Carmel? Slow start, but they were really pulling it together, and now they lead shots on goal by 4.
Yeah, you're right on, Dylan. The first shift did not go Carmel's way, but after that we saw some great puck possession, just all sorts of on the breakout in the offensive zone. It almost felt like Carmel was always the ones attacking York, and the only chances York really ever got were off of counter chances or off of turnovers that Carmel made themselves. It's almost as if Carmel will decide this whole game. If they can continue playing this system, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to get a few more goals past Kaczmarek.
Luke, what do you got?
Well, hearing from Coach Boeing over here, he's talking about how they need to be harder on the draws, and that's how that resulted in that Carmel goal. So he's making a very good point, and he's saying if you guys could have hustled to that puck, it would be a tie game where you guys would be winning because maybe a shift of momentum would not have happened.
Very good point there by Coach Matt Boeing for York. Face-offs, they can not be underestimated for how important they are for the entire game, let alone just starting out with possession at each whistle. Letting up a goal from a face-off is a huge killer for any team trying to build some momentum in a game.
Well, we talked about Carmel. They hadn't scored first in an SHL game coming into this one. They did that. They only scored first one other time, I should mention. But one thing that they've never had is the lead after the first period, which they have here coming in to their 5th SHL game. As for the York Dukes, they trailed after the first period just one time earlier this season, and that was a regulation loss for the green and white team. So Carmel will look to stay hot and keep things rolling here in the second period. Although this goals for and goals against. Carmel is -3. They've only scored one second period goal in their 4 games coming into this one and allowed 4.
As you mentioned, we still are 4-on-4, which benefits the more skilled players with more speed.
Here's one of them, Swiatkowski to Mosley. Mark Mosley dumps it down, rings around the boards, and the goaltender out of his net to play it. Almost had a miscue with Mosley, but bails himself out. Now the first penalty over, so it is a Carmel power play for the next 35 seconds. York will clear this one down, and they're shorthanded, so no icing. Nicosia wins the race to the puck. He's out of gas, though. Behind the goal line, tries to make something happen, loses the puck, and Lenahan will grab it.
I don't think Thomas Steiner knew that the first penalty had expired because he did not play that puck knowing Nicosia was coming to get it.
As a matter of fact, he put an arm up as to signal an icing whistle was coming. Only 10 seconds to go now. York doing a good job on their penalty kill. But Carmel will take possession. Out of the box comes Campesano, and now all the penalties are over. Back to full and even strength. Here in Vernon Hills, both teams will fall to 0 for 1 on the advantage so far in this one.
Yeah, real tough to judge either team's power plays. Both having abbreviated power plays, not really being able to get set up into their own systems. We'll have to see what happens if a next penalty is called to see how these teams can set up in the offensive zone.
So you see the graphics on your screen for our social media accounts. Make sure you give us a follow. Instagram, of course, the SHL Network, where we are most active. All the final scores, highlights, news that you can want can be found right on Instagram. Twitter, a little less active, but also a good one, the SHL Network, the username, as opposed to just simply SHL Network on Instagram. Of course, can't fail to mention our YouTube channel. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already. This was a close chance as Kazmarek let up a rebound, and then it was almost poked by Carmel. Boy, oh boy. Here comes Ryan Booth the other direction.
Again, we see that those chances generated by Carmel off of an offensive zone face-off. Real easy way to just generate offense, and Carmel has to keep looking to attack and not let up there in the dot.
Coit to Anderson, lost the puck to Rose. Rose dumps it in. Kazmarek will grab it. Look over his options. He gives it away. Nicholas Leaf turns around and fires one. I believe that was blocked before it's made its way to the net. Now Leaf again, backhander below the goal line. It's going to be grabbed by the Corsairs, and now York gets in there trying to grab possession back as it's pinned up against the end boards. Carmel leads shots on goal this period, 3-0 early on. Centering pass, just out of the reach of Deacon Rose. The sophomore couldn't hang on to that pass, and it'll come out to neutral ice. Now York will try and pressure. Here's Coit. He will shoot from the right circle, miss the net. Curry, and couldn't hang on to that one. Ryan Capulong, one of the 2 Capulong brothers on this Carmel roster, couldn't get it out of the zone. And then it'll come down to the far side half boards, and this puck has kind of been bouncing around in between possession for the last 20-30 seconds. As Nicholas Leaf finally looks to find a loose puck. His clearing attempt was blocked. He gets it back, and the puck finally out to neutral.
Although York was able to have the puck in the offensive zone there, no real possession or any chances generated. Still, from some in-zone time for York, almost all chances are generated off the rush.
And there's another York zone entry or rush that was defended nicely by Carmel. Looking to make something happen as they come the other way. It's Ligori dumping it in, comes to the near side corner. Fight for possession, goes the way of the Yorks, of the York Dukes, I should say. Sanfilippo couldn't get around Ligori, and Carmel's going to be assessed for a penalty here. Is that an elbow I saw from the referee on the rush?
It appears so, yes. That's going to be an elbow as York's going to head to the power play, but I'm going to take a moment to highlight the Carmel back pressure by their forwards. That is why York is not able to ever establish really in the Carmel zone, because the Carmel forwards are relentless at getting back on defense and taking away the time and space of York in the offensive zone. It's almost as if York has no time to really even breathe once they cross that blue line of Carmel's.
Another chance for the red-hot York power play. Came into this game 35%. Had one power play in this game that was cut short due to taking another penalty of their own. So they only had about 40 seconds of time with a man up. They'll look for a full 2 minutes here. Left circle shot taken by Nicosia, stopped by the goaltender Steiner, and then the puck deflects out to neutral ice.
If you're York, that's a great look to have that quick in the power play. Not a very high danger scoring chance, but a great look for your best player in Nicosia. One-on-one with Steiner. Steiner made the save for Carmel.
Speak of the devil, Frank Nicosia with the puck in his own zone. Carmel doing a nice job at wasting time while shorthanded, but with 1:20 left on the power play, Nicosia gets around Swiatkowski. He centers it, Maurer shoots and misses the net. That was a nice quick feed by those two line mates. Just couldn't connect perfectly, and that kind of play, you had to connect perfectly.
Yeah, great rush by Nicosia there. If you're Maurer, I don't think he knew how much time he had. He just tried to get a backhand on that one. Didn't know he had time to get it back to his forehand to get a shot off.
Rosa to P-Tac, but getting in there is Rose. And now Frank Rosa gets it right back. Down low for P-Tac. Over to the near side, Nicosia still out there on the power play. Right point Moore, left side again. Moore high slot towards the net, looking for a tip maybe by P-Tac. It didn't happen. The puck went directly on net, and the pad save was made easily by Steiner.
We saw two York players in front of the net there, but none of them getting in the eyesight of Thomas Steiner, leading to that save being rather fairly easy and no rebound chance generated from that.
So you can see why the York power play, converting at such a high percentage, they're really taking advantage of every shooting opportunity they get.
York is short a guy here. They only have 4 guys on the ice.
Well, they are shorthanded.
No, York is on the power play.
You're right. Good pickup there as the penalty ends. They were going 4-on-4 for about 10 seconds there. This shot turned away by Steiner. 13-8. Shots on goal favor the Carmel Catholic Corsairs. It's the only goal of the game was that big one from Kyler Gornick. And Carmel trying to make it 2 as Dankelson pressures Curry. Playing tag with him all the way. Curry still with the puck. Forced to send it out to center ice where Carmel will dump it in.
That turnover was all forced by Dankelson, of him just hounding the York defense until they just had to throw the puck away with no idea where it was going.
Penalty coming up here as Carmel will touch the puck and they will head to the box again, this time on a slash.
I did not see that play. I don't know if we can get a replay. Oh, we're going to see the play from Nicosia to Maurer right there. Again, it feels as if Maurer did not know how much time he had just getting rid of that. If you can hold on for just an extra second, see what the goalie's going to give you, you got a much better chance of scoring there. But again, thanks so much to Nutrier Hockey for sponsoring this goalie cam to give us the angles that we can see.
It is awesome. And hey, Luke, I want to send it down to you. Your biggest focus in the pregame interview with head coach of York, Matt Boeing, was the special teams. Now Carmel has taken their 3rd penalty of this game and their 2nd penalty in the last 3-4 minutes of playing time. What's the attitude like down there? Nicosia's shot deflects off the glove. Try and get Luke Jordan in a moment. But York on the power play, 20 seconds in. It's Nicosia, left circle. At the corner, finally gets it back up to Matthew Moore. Nicosia, left side centers it. Petak's stick was right there. They just couldn't connect.
Petak is right in the grill of Steiner. Steiner even using his glove to almost shove Petak out of the way.
Now Mosley's clearing attempt was blocked. He gets it back and will send this one all the way down. 9:30 to go in the second period, 1:10 on the power play. York looked like they may have wanted to try and catch Carmel in a change, but York was a little bit behind them in their line swap, so instead they will come up ice. One number 12 gets it intercepted by another, and Deacon Rose out to neutral ice, gets the puck back, and now skating with it is Rose to Leaf. He tried to pass back to Rose, but couldn't get it through the legs. And out to neutral ice.
The effort of these Carmel's players is nonstop, always doing whatever it takes to get pressure on York, even shorthanded. It's almost like York has no space in the neutral zone.
Here's Michael Anderson. He's got 5 points so far for the 7-game playing forward. Here's Campasano. Only 16 to go in the power play. His shot off the right pad of Steiner. Tried to get it out, but it's kept alive by the Dukes one more time. It's the defenseman Ryan Booth playing down low on this power play. He has it, left circle. Goes back to the right point. Campasano towards the net. Blocked by the skate of Ben Vavra. And it'll go out to center ice and dumped down into the corner by the Corsairs. Another good PK for the Carmel side, as they have limited York's amazing power play to 0 for 3 on the day. Vernon Hills, Glacier Ice Arena, SHL regular season. Ligori tries to make it 2 for the Corsairs. His shot was blocked. He gets it back. Now below the goal line, Capulong, Ligori, tried a centering pass, and the puck finally frozen by the glove of Kazmarek. Low-scoring game, not a lot of offense in general, just 13 shots on goal for the Corsairs to York's 10.
Well, I was going to go off of what Andrew was saying earlier, how their effort on the penalty kill is absolutely incredible, and they make it look like they have 5 players out there when they have 4.
Right off the draw, Jack Wren tries one from a tough angle on the right side. That's stopped by the pad. And York looking to get it out. It is kept alive by Gabe Morabetto.
Very good sign for Carmel here. Once you get back to full strength, they are right back on the attack, hounding York in their own zone, looking to generate more chances.
Sanfilippo steals it away, though. He'll come through neutral. Left side over the Corsair blue line. Try to pass with the puck. It wouldn't connect. Then he got it back and stolen away by Leon Swiatkowski. Off the near side glass. Got it back to himself. With the puck now, his pass was deflected away by a stick of a white sweater. As we come down to 7 minutes left in the second, just 1 goal in the hockey game belongs to Kyler Gornick in the first period.
Huge play by Morabetto there, as we're going to get a penalty here, but gigantic play at the blue line to stop Costable from going down on a 2-on-1. Looks like he's going to get a penalty. He doesn't agree either way. Still a good penalty if that's what prevented Costable from leading that odd man rush down.
So now, guys, it's another power play for the Dukes, as Carmel has now conceded their 3rd penalty in this period. Not something you want to do against a team as sharp on the man advantage as York, but good news for Carmel. They've been 3 for 3 on the penalty kill so far.
Always good to be perfect on the penalty kill, but you feel just at some point in time you have to stop taking penalties and giving this York power play chances to put one in the back of your net.
Gabe Morabito in the box, playing in his first career varsity SHL game for the Corsairs. It'll come out to the left point. Matthew Moore stolen away by Deacon Rose. If he has speed, he's got to look. Rose being pressured will get a shot away. It hit the side of the net. Then he centers it looking for Leaf, and that wouldn't connect. The Carmel half of the rink here in the stands really gaining some energy after that look. Carmel without a shorthanded goal so far this season, 1 allowed. York has 2 shorties allowed, which is sort of interesting when you look at how good their power play is. They're the only team that has allowed 2 shorthanded goals so far this season. Here's another steal. Gornick in on net, takes a shot, and that is blocked.
Not what you want to see if you're the York Duluth faithful. The best chances of this penalty clearly coming for Carmel already.
Nicosia on the right side. We'll go over to the far side half boards for P-Tac. Backhander down low to the corner for Nicosia again. 46 seconds to go in the penalty. Now it comes back out high, and the shot taken by Moore is stopped. Moore tries to get it back. Eli Maurer in there to help. 36 seconds to go on the penalty. Nicosia, who's had a lot of ice time here in the second period, especially on the power plays. Down below the goal line, P-Tac. Centering pass, he was looking for Moore. Couldn't find him, but it is kept alive at the blue line. Right side by Rosa. Now Nicosia again, just 16 to go on the penalty now. Here's a wrist shot from the left point taken by Moore, and that wouldn't go. Frank Rosa picks it up, gets it below the goal line. York still with possession here, but the penalty over. This centering pass from Nicosia, looking for his man Maurer, had a little too much elevation. Now officially out of the box is Morabedo, and the Carmel Catholic penalty kill has gone 4 for 4 against the York Dukes so far in this game.
I think a main reason to that is York, when they're getting set up, is not really moving a whole bunch. They're almost staying stagnant. And with the pressure that Carmel constantly has, York is not really able to use that man advantage, as it always seems as if somebody's on them because they're all just standing still.
Sanfilippo got around Swikowski. Right circle, got rid of a shot, and a big save made with not very much notice for Steiner. 4 minutes to play in the second period. Just 1-0 Carmel. Lenahan dumps it in, right wing side. It'll go down below the goal line, Kazmarek. Near side corner, battle for possession of the puck. It'll go behind the goal line again. Slap shot from Varva, wouldn't go. Both teams trying to find a clean play to set up here. Mosley to the far side, and the shot attempt from Varva. Got deflected and missed. We'll go to Lenahan instead at the far corner. Curry doesn't have a stick as he looks to defend with just his skates. And then York tries to get it out again. Carmel will keep possession alive here in the attacking zone. About a minute of zone time here for the Corsairs. Now this puck goes to the right point. Varva shoots, and the save is made by Kazmarek. York trying to break the lock here. Another battle for the puck on the near side boards. Mosley comes up with it. Mark Mosley centers it. Lenahan didn't know it was coming, but he was right there. And now finally for York, they will clear this one down, and in the period of the long change, they'll get an opportunity to switch up. Those guys have been out there for a while.
Seems like we went at least 4 minutes there without a whistle. But a real good look there from Mosley. Lenahan just wasn't even expecting it to come to him right there in front of the net. But if they connect on that pass, it's almost like he has a complete 4x6 as Kazmarek was out at the top of his crease to challenge what he thought was a shot from Lenahan.
2:41 to go in the second period. 1-0 Corsairs at Glacier Ice Arena for the third SHL game of the week of this season. We've had some exciting ones and a lot of low-scoring games. This one is no exception. Here's Michael Huffman, but this puck gets ahead to Coit. Ethan Coit looking for a centering pass, blocked by Gornick. Then the centering feed just wasn't there for Ryan Booth. Then another shot is absorbed by Thomas Steiner as he makes his 13th save of the hockey game. Andrew, I'm not going to lie, those shots on goal seem a little light to me.
Yes, I think also a big part of the reason why the shots have been getting closer is because Carmel has been shorthanded for so much of the second period. They have not really had the ability to keep the puck in York's zone as much as they would like as well. And York is not generating a whole bunch of shots on net on their power play in the time that they've had.
York desperately looking for the game-tying goal before the break. Here's a long slap shot. Save made by Steiner. The puck was right there, but no white sweater in a good position. Here's
No
another
stick
try.
for Kyler Gornick.
And the Corsairs will clear this. This will be an icing and an opportunity on the whistle for Gornick to go down there and grab his stick. .143 to go in the second of 3 periods on this Sunday afternoon. That followed a beautiful weekend of fall weather in the Chicago area. York trying to end the weekend off with a bang. Again, we talked about it. This is their 3rd game in 3 straight days. A 5-2 win over GBN on Friday night at home. Then a 3-2 loss to the Stevenson Patriots yesterday. Now here, down 1-0 in the second against Carmel. York's attacking zone with 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Nicosia, York retains possession. It's Moore. Risker towards the net, saved by the pad. The rebound is there, and another shot attempt would be blocked by a skater. Now back again, out for Moore. He shoots, and nothing there. I thought I heard a whistle, Andrew. I guess
think
not.
it was more of a scream than a whistle.
Probably right on that. 40 seconds to play second period. York with possession numbers over the last minute of playing time. It's Nico Pitak. He circles way up high with the puck. Takes a shot. Big save by the right pad of Steiner. And then Duke is taken down, and the Corsairs are going to get a penalty for that. And I don't know if some of the exclamations from the parents to our left have squeaked through our microphones, but let's just say if you didn't hear them, they're not happy. That about sums it up.
Spot on there, Dylan. We're seeing York get a lot more pressure to the net there. And Pitak, who has really lived right in front of Steiner, as you can see right here, but he is too close to Steiner to get a rebound. He cannot react, as you can see in the replay there. He just can't, he doesn't have time to react to the puck coming right back to him to have a chance to put away that rebound. You have to be a good 2 to 3 feet at least in front of the goaltender to have enough time to bury that rebound chance.
By the end of this period, we'll have played 34 minutes of hockey. 10 of those minutes were spent on the power play for York, but nothing to show for it. Here's Deacon Rose. Dropped it off to the circle, and Carmel will clear it. Only to center ice, so York with a quick re-entry. Tipping that one into the zone is Booth. Carmel grabs it away, and with 2 seconds, 1 now 0, that's how the second period comes to an end. So the Carmel Catholic Corsairs and the York Dukes will step off the ice and head into their locker rooms while the Zamboni takes care of business here. In the meantime, we will mute our mics and roll some highlights for you on the SHL Network. Just wanted to say before we head off for the second period, another thank you to the sponsors of the Scholastic Hockey League Network, starting out with our presenting sponsor, Uline, the shipping and industrial supplies specialist, Chicagoland Habitat for Humanity, CCTY Bearing, Edwards Jones Financial Solutions, Wintrust Community Bank, Lake Forest Bank and Trust, a Wintrust Community Bank, Kramer Construction and Management, and finally, Schmidt Goaltending, who sponsored the starting goaltenders here tonight. Also sponsors the save of the game, Andrew. We haven't seen anything too flashy yet, but maybe something coming up for us in the third period. Anyway, we will turn ourselves off. Please enjoy some highlights in the meantime and keep it right here on YouTube. We'll be back for the third momentarily. And the teams skate back onto the ice here at Glacier Ice Arena as we get set for the third period of action this Sunday late afternoon in Vernon Hills. York trying to come back as Carmel has the 1-0 lead heading into the final frame. We're going to send it down to Luke Jordan, who's standing by with head coach of the Corsairs, P.J. Eberhardt. Luke, take it away.
So yeah, guys, I'm here with Coach Eberhardt. That penalty kill has been absolutely outstanding. What do you think has been so good about it?
Well, we've had a lot of practice today. I think it's 6 in a row, so we're hoping that changes in the third period.
And other than that penalty kill, what would you say is the main ingredient of success so far in this 1-0 lead?
We're battling. We're competing for every inch of ice. I'm really proud of the effort of the guys that are, they're out there working hard, and hopefully we can get another one in here.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. The Carmel Catholic Corsairs looking for just their second win of the SHL season. If they can hold on to a 1-0 lead, maybe add some more, and come away with the victory. One more time, you just heard from Luke Jordan, Patrick Loftus on camera, Jimmy Olson, the technical engineer. My name is Dylan Ward. Andrew Rubin is to my right. And Andrew, for those viewers who don't know, Andrew Rubin, a former SHL player, graduated from Glenbrook North in 2021. You've been in a lot of games like this, especially at this level. What do you think's gone most right for either team and also most wrong?
I think for Carmel, you heard Coach P.J. Eberhardt talk about how their effort, they are battling for every inch of ice. They are making everything difficult for York. The easy negative is that they've just kept getting penalties. Some of them have been some pretty soft calls by the officials, but you have to stay out of the box, especially when you're dominating the game like this. Whereas where you're York, right now you really need to be able to hold Carmel 5-on-5, play a lot more even, generate more chances. But something that's going well for them is that it's still only a one-goal hockey game here. One quick bounce, and it's a tie game with 17 minutes to go here to play for one goal. See who can walk away as a champion.
It's the funny thing about this sport, isn't it, Andrew? As they drop the puck, York back from shooting right to left, Carmel from left to right. Also, just to remind you, a penalty still on the board, 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining on a Duke power play, which so far is 0 for 4 coming into this man advantage. Carmel with another good start to their PK.
Really tough to start a power play with the period because power plays are more of a flow thing when you really know what's going on. And coming out here, everybody fresh ice, not really back in the flow of things. It's real tough to set up a power play.
Carmel limiting York's rush opportunity again. And it's stolen away here by P-Tech. He will center it Maurer. He got a shot away and a big save made by Thomas Steiner. That might be the Schmidt goaltending save of the game. We'll see if there's another one that trumps it, but Andrew, that was a pretty flashy one.
Absolutely tremendous save by Steiner. That one's going to be in my back pocket for the Schmidt goaltending save of the game as of right now. And a huge start for York here to get pressure immediately on Carmel to start this period. They really want to play in Carmel's zone more.
Still about a minute left on the York power play. P-Tech goes palms up after himself and Nick Leaf got kicked out of the dot, so Nicosia instead will go against Deacon Rose.
Yes, both kids did not put their sticks on the ice, which all centermen have to do when going to take a face-off. That is why they both got kicked out.
That's great insight, Andrew, as this is another clear by the Corsairs. And Luke, you talked about it, the amazing penalty kill from Carmel, but at the end of the day, York was still getting their looks. Here, Carmel's just completely shutting them down offensively and not letting them get a lane. This right here is York's real first good possession since the power play, or I should say period, started. Eli Maurer, right circle. Got a shot away. The save is made, and diving over it to freeze action is Steiner. Stoppage with 15:35 to go in the third.
And I gotta say, Steiner's positioning in general has been absolutely perfect from post to post. And that's the reason not only is he able to make those great saves, but jump on top of those rebounds like he did just there.
Great pickup there, Luke. We have really not seen any rebound chances for York so far this game where they're getting second, third opportunities to get a look on Steiner.
Currently the scoreboard has it as 19 shots for the Dukes and 15 for the Corsairs, so York finding a way to take the lead in that category. Carmel only with 5 shots on goal since the first period ended. The centering pass, blue paint, Colantonio shot one, and that wouldn't go. Another close chance for York. Mosley. And now Wren will get it back to Mosley. Jack Wren again. Over the blue line. Centered it. Lenahan. Backhander towards the net. And maybe a pad there for Kazmarek, or it rolled wide.
Great three-way passing play there for Carmel as soon as they get back to full strength.
So York now 0 for 5 on the power play. This one from Mosley from a wicked angle just barely missed the crossbar. Lenahan back for Morabito. Now here's Jack Wren. Wren got around Costabule. Down the circle, all the way to the net. Got rid of a shot from a pretty tough angle, and it was another easy save for Kazmarek. Carmel Catholic and York playing for the first time this SHL season. Both teams looking to improve their records. Carmel with just 1 win in 4 games, but one of those being an overtime loss, so 3 points in the books for the Corsairs. York 4 and 3 in SHL play, so they may have 5 more points than Carmel Catholic, but they've played 4 more games. 3 more games make that. And that's the thing about hockey standings, Andrew. No matter what level you're at, it's not nice and symmetric like the NFL. Teams have different amounts of games played at a regular basis in the hockey schedule, and for a sport that bases their standings off points, as the Dukes are off sides, the games in hand can end up being a real key when you look at those standings down the stretch.
Couldn't agree more, Dylan. Teams are playing in tournaments. Teams are playing out-of-league games. Teams could just have breaks. Also, you have to take note of who teams play. You know, are you playing some of the teams that are at the top of the league or at the bottom of the league? Is that why they've had so many points or so few points? There's so many things that go into reading hockey standings.
Like how about Carmel, who last played last week on Sunday, a week ago today, and York being in their 3rd game in 3 days. Carmel with the lead, though. Anderson took a shot on goal, but saved by Steiner again. 13:08 to go in period number 3. Carmel hangs on to the same 1-0 lead they've had since the first period on the goal by Kyler Gornick, assisted by Ligori. That's the difference here as the goaltenders have shined. Carmel will backhand this one down into York's end. Stolen away, and a centering pass attempted by Michael Kemp. Wouldn't get to the high slot, and then a high stick touch of the puck will freeze action with 12:42 to go in the 3rd. Now the shots on goal favor the Dukes 20-16. Carmel leads the game 1-0.
That's the first real sign of frustration we've seen from this York team. Coit slamming a stick on the boards after high sticking that puck. That's not what you want to see if you're York. You want to stick to your game plan all the way through the rest of this game and do whatever it takes to get a goal to tie this game up.
This one's centered. Morabito couldn't hang on to the puck. Eli Maurer gets in there and sticks it out to center ice. The goal scorer, Gornick, with a pass ahead to Rose. He couldn't settle it down. Dankelson tried to bail him out, but York will grab possession. Nico Pitak. He's been shining out there all day long. Pitak being pressured by Leaf from behind, and then a big collision behind the Corsairs net between Leaf and Pitak. Results in a whistle, and I think we're going to get a penalty on the play.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a replay here of it. The official call was a hold. Maybe you can get him for a possibility of a late hit, but not really sure there was much of a hold there by Leaf.
Nick Leaf will have a seat. Doesn't have any penalty minutes so far this season, but he will take a timeout, and York will be on the power play for the 6th time. Face-off win for Carmel. Remember, they started this period off with a stellar PK. York certainly has been given the opportunity to tie the game with all the power plays they've had, as Pitak couldn't stuff it by. But, Andrew, the Carmel Catholic penalty kill defense and goaltending altogether has just completely shined here this afternoon.
Yes, we see good chance for York there off of an interchange. between Nicosia and Matthew Moore. That's what York really needs to start doing more. Get more movement on their power play. As Carmel, as mentioned, is not looking to give up an inch of ice. They are all over these York players. They have to start running some interchanges, start getting that puck moving laterally to expose some holes in this very ultra-aggressive penalty kill of Carmel.
Carmel Catholic's been involved in a lot of low-scoring games. Here's another one. Nicosia trying to add to the goal total for number 2 overall. This one-timer from the right side by Rosa would not go into the net, and after the play, P-Tech is taken down.
Huge sign there for Steiner as he's able to track that one-timer right into his glove. You can see perfect positioning, perfect form to track that puck. Despite a little bit of traffic in front of him, that is about as locked in as you can get as a goaltender.
1:17 to go on the 6th York power play of this game. Here's P-Tech battling with Swiatkowski in the far side corner for possession. P-Tech then gets taken down from behind. He wants a penalty to be called, but there's not going to be one. Actually, it is a delayed call as the referee puts his arm in the air. And now I believe Andrew and Luke, the York Dukes are going to have 1 minute and 2 seconds of a 2-man advantage as Jack Wren is being escorted to the box.
Yeah, and I have to say, their penalty kill has been incredible all night, but things change when you only have 1 forward on the ice instead of 2. So they're going to have to bust their butt here on this penalty kill to prevent York from scoring over the next minute and 2 seconds.
And while York huddles in the left wing circle, the parents making their opinions heard. And they drew a couple eyes looking back up from the York skaters. But even in the National Hockey League, boys, a penalty's not a reviewable play, so it will be a 5-on-3 for 1 minute. And then after that, a normal power play again for the Dukes for another minute. They will take possession with 2 more skaters out. Here's Nicosia, right circle, down low to Maurer. He tried to get it back to Nicosia, but whiffed on his pass.
Well, it looks like we're going to get a crease violation on York as the faceoff's going to come outside the zone. But again, for that faceoff, we saw P-Tech kicked out again. He's just refusing to put his stick on the ice when the referee's getting ready to drop the puck in. Unfortunately, every time that happens, you will get kicked out. As a centerman, you have to have your stick on the ice, otherwise it is an unfair advantage. You can see right now his stick is elevated.
Nico P-Tech, a varsity returning player, played last season and this season, and he's been taking face-offs here at the varsity SHL level for quite a while. Here's Nicosia, top of the right circle, down to Maurer again. Team laid out in the same way they were at the start of this penalty kill, and York will clear this one down. Is that another penalty, this time against York?
We're seeing some real frustration from York now. Obviously, you absolutely cannot take a penalty when you have a 5-on-3 advantage right there. And we're seeing a lot of palms up on the York bench getting on each other. And morale just overall just seems very down. Whereas Carmel, that is a huge burst of energy now where they're only down a man, and they will actually have, after killing this short power play, they will have a very short power play of their own.
I was going to say, over here, I've never heard such loud cheers for a penalty, and they get a little bit of a sigh of relief there.
Still short-handed. 4-on-3 as the faceoff was in the attacking zone for the Corsairs, but York will grab it. So 4 skaters out there to the Corsairs 3, and in 12 seconds, it'll become 4-on-4. Close offsides call there, but it does come outside the zone. Gornick will stick it ahead. He has a rush. Gornick with a shot. He was going far side post, but he missed. And fresh out of the box with both his skates on the ice surface is Leaf. And we're back to 4-on-4. Now the whistle's going to sound for a piece of equipment sitting on the ice.
That looks like the back heel of the skate happened to fall off of Gornick there, the Achilles protector.
Well, that certainly sounds important, Andrew.
Absolutely. You do not want to take any sort of stick, puck, or even skate to your Achilles. That is a recipe for disaster.
Neutral zone faceoff won by the Dukes. 4-on-4 hockey for the second time in this game. For the next 45 seconds, Then it'll be a power play for the Corsairs for the next roughly 45 to 50 seconds. Here's a pass to Coit, waiting at the blue line on the left wing side, being guarded by Swiatkowski, and Leon Swiatkowski able to force a turnover and get it down into York's end. Here is Coit. He got it to Anderson, who comes into the zone. Centers it. Coit, left circle shot. He just threw it to the net and missed the cage. Under 10 minutes to play. Another centering puck. Maybe getting a piece of that one was Steiner, who's now made 24 saves on the night. Out of the box is Jack Wren, and for the second time tonight, the Corsairs are on a power play, even though it's abbreviated. Here's Wren, going all the way down low. He tried to get a pass out to Gornick, but it was found instead by Colantonio, and York will clear. Now only 20 seconds to play on the Corsairs power play before we're back to full and even strength. Here's a steal by Colantonio. He was looking to start a shorthanded chance, but lost the puck. Now down to the York end. Getting ready to come out of the box and stepping onto the ice surface now is Nico Pitak. And the penalties are done. We're back to 5-on-5. This is an icing, so we will take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors on the SHL Network, starting with the presenting sponsor, Uline, the shipping and industrial supply specialists. Up next, Chicagoland Habitat for Humanity. Then CCTY Bearing, Brian C. Mueller of Edwards Jones Financial Advisory, Wintrust Bank, Lake Forest Bank and Trust, a Wintrust community bank, Kramer Construction, and finally Schmidt Goaltending, who sponsors the save of the game. And don't forget, SHL fans, you can head over to schmidtgoaltending.com and use promo code SHL, and you will get 20% off a private goaltending lesson.
And we still have our Schmidt goaltending save of the game. Right now it's going to go to Steiner on that chance to begin the third period, right from the slot for York. But we'll see in the last 8 minutes if there's another big save that will trump that one.
I mean, you talk about not just the flashiness of the save, Andrew, but the timing as well to keep it a 1-0 game. And York with the lead in shots. Here's another one for the Dukes and another save for Steiner.
And no rebound given up by Steiner as well.
7:47 to go in the third period. The only goal of the hockey game so far came with 10 minutes left in the first. Kyler Gornick assisted by Rocco Ligori. Apart from that, the goaltenders have been perfect. Here's a face-off win for the Dukes. Down on the half boards, it's poked out of there by Carmel. And I mean, 7.5 minutes left here. York is certainly a team that can tie this hockey game. There's no question about that. But they just haven't been able to bury their chances, and there's only so much time you get, as this is another icing by the Dukes. It'll be another attacking zone faceoff for Carmel, but having said that, you can also talk about the chances Carmel has had, and I'm sure on the bench they're happy with the lead, no question, but they'd like it to be a 2 or 3 goal lead instead of just 1-0.
Yes, if you're York, you have to wonder at what point will the frustration start to boil over, because looking up and seeing that 0 over and over again will just keep building to a certain breaking point. But if you're Carmel, you're looking for that dagger goal to be up 2, to really try to take the wind out of these York sails.
Kyler Gornick will chase it back. Pardon me, that's Caden Gornick. And a hit into the near side boards. Now Nicosia gets it back out to Curry at the point. Curry's pass intercepted by the Corsairs, and looking to get it out here is Gornick. Now Kempa, finally the man to push it beyond the goal line. Then from neutral ice, York will send it down, and it actually becomes a shot on net that Steiner wasn't all that ready for. And now an extremely late offside whistle will bring the face-off into neutral ice at the dot closest to the Corsairs bench with 6:42 in the third period.
Yeah, we see Coach P.J. Eberhard not happy as there was a shot on goal during the delayed offsides. It should be all the way down, but the referee did not make that call, and he waited. That's what the reason for the delayed whistle was. But the Carmel Corsairs are really not happy with the way that this game has been officiated so far, despite being ahead 1-0.
Hope you found us on YouTube okay. If you're joining us late, only one goal by the Corsairs. Nicosia will try to get the second goal of the game. Now here's a big save by Steiner on Maurer. And Andrew, did we just get a save that was better than the first one? What a clutch moment for the goaltender.
I absolutely think so. A second save right there. Both Carmel players went to the original guy in front of Steiner, leaving the York player all alone in front, and we see just a diving effort by Steiner and no rebound allowed on that second chance too, to many York bodies in front of him. That is most certainly number one for the Schmidt goaltending save of the game, but again, still 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Absolutely, we can see another save that can trump that one.
Luke, you're down there at the Carmel bench. You must have had a pretty good look at that stop.
Oh, yeah, it was absolutely incredible. Steiner out of nowhere just kind of dove down, and the puck got under his stomach in time, and he was able to get the freeze. Huge play there by Steiner.
This slap shot was whiffed on by York. Carmel will look to take advantage. Here's a pass to Mosley in neutral ice. While falling down, he will dump it in. Carmel fans want a penalty called. Not going to get one. Here's Jack Wren. Carmel has 14 penalty minutes in this game. York with only 4. Now here comes a chance for Nicosia. He's got Lenahan to beat. Nicosia with the puck, left side, centers it. And a backhand pass by Maurer over to Rosa. Wouldn't connect. Now here's a chance, Nicosia. 2 shots on goal. Here's a third, as swooping in there is Michael Anderson. But another pad save. York not done. Here's Rosa from the point. His shot, maybe looking for a tip. Wouldn't connect with another stick. And Carmel clears it again. Coming way out of his net. Beyond the circles to play it out is the goaltender Kazmarek. But his long pass intended for Frank Rosa wouldn't connect. Carmel resets as we get down to 5:22 to go. Here's a 2-on-1 though for Carmel. Leaf's got the puck and Dankelson to his right. Leaf couldn't get around a diving Frank Rosa, who made a great play defensively to keep it a 1-goal game.
Great play by Frank Rosa there. If you're a Leaf, like to see him stop instead of trying to go around the diving Rosa, as Rosa with that dive did a good job of taking away the time and space.
Deacon Rose's shot was blocked by the skate of DeZillo. Now Coit gets hooked from behind, and Leaf's going to get a penalty. Carmel's going to go to the penalty box for the 8th time of the game. And York with an opportunity to find the game-tying goal with 4:50 to go in regulation. They trail 1-0, and Nick Leaf in the box for the 2nd time of the hockey game.
Yeah, we're going to see that save sequence again from Steiner. Good 3-4 shots right there, all denied by Steiner, who is just completely locked in, and then we're going to get a look at that hook. Just a penalty that you can't take. You cannot put your stick up in the armpit of a player there. Obviously, not much you can argue if you're Carmel. That's just with 5 minutes to go. You cannot take a penalty about 150 feet away from your own net.
Combined, this is the 10th power play for either team of this game. 0 for 9 coming into it. Curry, Maurer, and Coit all on the ice, each of them with a power play goal for the Dukes this season. And Carmel will grab it and clear it. Just got to keep playing your PK the way you've been all game, because clearly something's been working. Carmel came into this one with the 6th best penalty kill. You better believe they're going to jump a couple of teams if they can make it 8 for 8 with this.
Yes, and we see York coach Matt Bowen starting his 2nd power play unit here. I don't know if it's because of rest or just trying to change it up, but they are having the same amount of success as the 1st power play unit at this point.
Coit to Anderson. That's sticked away by Carmel and out to neutral ice. Campasano to the far side. Ryan Booth will dump it in. Right to left comes to Ethan Coit. Mentioned it a couple times in this broadcast. Number 55 for the Dukes, Ethan Coit, looking to extend a point streak to 3 straight games. That's on the line here. Campasano around a couple defenders. He comes over the blue line on the left side. Tried a centering pass, but Varva got his stick in there. Then a big turnaround slap shot clear by Deacon Rose. Was saved at the blue line by Nicosia's glove, so it didn't go all the way down. However, York will bring it back into the zone anyway while they change it up. 33 to go on the York power play. 3:20 to go in the third period. Here's another clear by Carmel.
Again, just York not being able to solve even this power play or penalty kill defense by Carmel in the neutral zone.
What a play by Nicosia. Around one man, and his shot missed the net. Maybe that was a pass off the end boards. Kept alive by York. Petak, left circle shot, missed the cage. Now here's Frank Rosa with it. Rosa got that one to the far side corner, and it's grabbed away by Swiatkowski, who lifts it out to neutral ice and eventually all the way down. Power play now over, and the Carmel Catholic penalty kill now sits at 8 out of 8 on the day. Unbelievable. This pass. Sorry, go ahead.
Couldn't agree more. 8 out of 8 is something spectacular when it comes to the penalty kill department, no matter who you are playing, let alone the top power play in the Scholastic Hockey League.
Talk about York's power play will also take a little bit of a dip after this one. Not going to sit at 35% after going 0 for 8. But anyway, York going to need to tie this game here. In the last 2 minutes of play, we'll keep an eye out for when head coach Matt Boeing will elect to sub off the goaltender for a sixth skater. Here's a shot towards the net by Rosa. That missed. And turning around after the giveaway and getting it down is Lenahan. This will be an icing. And so the faceoff will come into Carmel's zone with 2 minutes even on the clock. York now leads shots on goal, 29-16. But Carmel the game 1-0. And surprised to see no timeout here.
Yes, we see Nicosia on that top power play unit head back to the bench with York for 2 minutes to go. You have to think it's going to be about 20, 30 seconds before they get back out there. So then you can not only use that shift, but also use your timeout to keep your top guys rested and get them out for as much as these final 2 minutes as possible.
Here's another Corsair icing.
And going off of what you just said, Andrew, with the exception of a couple of players, the York Dukes look really tired today, and that probably has to do with playing 3 games in 3 days, 4 and 5 as well.
You bring up a great point, Luke. It's obviously not easy to play 3 games in 3 days for anybody 4 and 5, but especially in this league, where every night you're going to get just an absolute war. It definitely takes a toll on you.
Still in his net for now is Kazmarek as we're down to 140.
Not only in his net, but he seems very calm there, as if they're not even thinking about pulling the goalie anytime soon.
Colantonio takes a hit into the end boards. Carmel will clear this out to neutral ice. Rose tried to grab possession, but it's taken away by the Dukes. 1:20 to go in period number 3, and still no sign of Kazmarek making a beeline to the bench as of yet. York does need to have offensive zone possession, though, which they don't have here. As Rose's clearing attempt deflects off a stick, then the ceiling, and eventually lands in the York bench for a stoppage with 1:13 to go in the third. And you got to think a timeout's coming here. There is one for York. So they'll talk things over, and they're going to have a chance to tie this game. But Carmel Catholic on the verge here of beating a very good SHL team on a defensive masterclass performance and a stellar night in net for Steiner.
100% right about Steiner. Been locked in from the moment we started that first good shift from York. He has stood on his head, denying every single opportunity that York has had. One thing to know about this timeout, I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. As mentioned, they just had their top guys on the bench. They were rested. Carmel just had their top guys on the ice. You would like to, or say you need to draw up a play for the offensive zone. There's no real reason to take that time out right now unless you think you can draw up a neutral zone face-off play that's going to help you that much. But you're really eliminating the advantage you just had by not having your top guys on the ice from the 2 minute point down to minute 13.
Luke, what was the conversation down there at the Carmel bench?
Well, to be completely honest with you, I couldn't hear much, but I could hear Coach definitely stressing out, getting in front of shots and making blocks just to save Steiner from facing any more shots. He's probably exhausted. He's faced 29 up to this point. They're trying to hold him from facing 30.
You have to assume just the all-out pressure by Carmel is going to continue to give problems for York. York's just going to have to find a way to find one small hole in that pressure to get an opportunity, because all it takes is one.
Well, speaking of one, that's how many minutes are left in this hockey game, at least in regulation. And York coming down to crunch time mode here. Still with the goalie in net, Matt Moore to Petak. Over to the near side, Nicosia. Skating out inch by inch is Kazmarek, and finally he will make the sprint. Here's a tying attempt by Maurer. It gets blocked and sent back to the point. Now this shot towards the net by Matt Moore was also blocked. 33 seconds to play. 6 attackers out there for the Dukes. Here's Petak. He centered it in. Cole Antonio just couldn't tap that one by. What a chance for York. Now only 20 seconds left. Nicosia near side at the left circle being pressured, and it's forced out to neutral ice by Carmel. Jack Wren skating after the puck. He's trying to win a race against Rosa. Wren all the way down to the goal line. He tried to center it for Mosley. York's going to look for one last second chance here with only 3 seconds to go. Rosa shoots, deflected high. Game over. Carmel wins 1-0 as they pour off the bench and celebrate with Thomas Steiner, who makes 30 saves on the 30 shots he faced. The Corsairs get their second win of the SHL season and will advance to 2-2-1. And the York Dukes hang their heads and make their way back into the locker room, and they fall to 4-4, right at 500. What a game here in Vernon Hills, and we'll send it down to Luke with PJ Eberhardt and a player in just a moment. But what a performance by Carmel, coming in here and playing amazingly on the defensive position.
Absolutely. Carmel should really cherish the amount of heart that they played with here. Everybody on that bench was all in to winning at every single moment of the game. As it looks like Steiner's approaching Luke right now and Coach PJ Eberhardt, we're going to send it down to Luke.
All right, take it away.
All righty, Coach. Well, you say you guys did your job.
Yeah, they battled every inch of that ice. They battled it. I'm very proud of the effort they put in today.
And you guys went in as underdogs and now victorious. How do you feel going into the rest of the season after a big upset win like this?
No, guys just are battling. This team's going to battle every inch of ice. I don't think we're underdogs. I think this team can play hockey.
All right, thank you, Coach. Right. And my player, the captain, Leon Swakowski. As a captain, what did it feel like just kind of, I don't know, leading the team out there for a shutout victory?
I don't know, man. We played great today. It wasn't just me. It was everybody up and down the lineup, blocking shots, not letting them get easy through our blue line. That was the best part of our game today. Blocking shots at the end there by Charlie was great. That's what we needed for this win.
And not only that, but by Steiner as well. He had himself a game, you would say?
Oh, yeah. Steiner played unbelievable. We didn't have him. We don't win this game if it wasn't for him. I mean, clearing rebounds, not letting him get second chances. It was great. He played amazing.
All right, well, you go to the locker room and enjoy that victory. Have a good night, sir. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Luke. Again, that's Luke Jordan with the sideline coverage. His first game on the broadcast crew with the SHL Network. Did a great job. Was a pleasure working with you tonight. And before we head off air, just want to send it back to Andrew. Have you decided whether it's that first save or second save for the save of the game?
For our Schmidt goaltending save of the game, I have to go with the second one from Steiner that we talked about in that third period. Just a tremendous effort to be able to hop back and forth for a secondary chance right there. And as Coach PJ Eberhardt said, his team played with every ounce of heart needed, and that will not only benefit them now, but later on in the playoffs. As here we see the save by Steiner right there, pushing with the left leg to get that, and not only leave no rebound as there are York sweaters just surrounding him, but a grade A chance of a York player all alone, just about 3 to 4 feet in front of Steiner, and he is able to keep that puck out of the net. Steiner, that's just a microcosm show of what the Carmel team did today, of just an all-out effort. They were not going to let York score at any point in time, and as mentioned, that will not only benefit this team in the regular season, but that is playoff hockey that will allow them to succeed down the line.
So the Corsairs get their 4th and 5th point in the standings of the season and hop over the Lake Forest Scouts, sitting at 2-2-1. Want to give a big shout-out to everyone that was part of our crew today. Luke Jordan down at the sideline, Patrick Loftus on camera, Jimmy Olson, of course, our technical engineer, and to my right is Andrew Rubin. My name is Dylan Ward, hoping you enjoyed this SHL Network Game of the Week. We will be back on the air not next week, but the week after, Wednesday, November 11th, where GBN will host Loyola Gold. See you then, and have a great rest of your Sunday night. Thanks for tuning in.